Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into Miami Dolphins today. But before we get the show started, let us know, what year did you become a Miami Dolphins fan? Comment below what year you became a Miami Dolphins fan. And hey, maybe next time we'll give you a shout out on the show. Xavien Howard has been a major talking point of this offseason regarding is he going to get a new contract or is he going to get traded? Obviously, he did request a trade on July 27th, but he did report to camp on time, but he is currently sidelined with an ankle injury. Now, there has been some speculation out there and even reports from Brian Flores saying that they're moving in the right direction in terms of a contract extension. And, well, NFL Network's newest member, Cameron Wolfe, who's been covering the Miami Dolphins for a couple years now, had this to say yesterday on NFL Network. I think there has to be a solution. I had a chance to talk to X shortly after he was holding out, and essentially what he was saying is he feels he just wants a little. What did Franklin say? RESPECT. He just wanted a little. I think the Dolphins have their stance. You know, he signed a deal 2 years ago, but X, he's the best corner on the team. He went on to say, one of the best in the league with 10 interceptions last year. I think he wants a little bit more in guarantees, a little bit more money, and to me, the gap seems small enough that you should be able to make it work. One of the best corners in the league in 10 interceptions last year as well. I think he wants a little bit more, as I mentioned, but you look at what he said in terms of this last line by Wolfe really got me here. A little bit more money, and to me, the gap seems small enough that you should be able to make it work. Now, that's the big thing with Xavien Howard. As you look at what he's done on the field, there's no describing, or in terms of putting two and two together here, he is the best corner on the team. When you look at the stats, now, are those stats inflated because of Byron Jones? That's the big deal here. Now, and also you go and look back at the games played, that's a big factor as well when he did miss a significant chunk of time in 2019, but there's no debating on what he did in 2020 with 51 tackles, 10 interceptions, and 20 pass breakups. He is a top corner in the NFL, and yeah, he led the NFL in interceptions. That's something to write home about in terms of you're Xavien Howard, and you should want more guaranteed money. But that report from Cameron Wolfe was interesting in the fact that he heard it from the source himself in terms he talked to X, and X seems like he's open to negotiating still, even though with that statement he released on July 27th, it's kind of sounded like he was done with the Dolphins. Maybe that door isn't entirely closed. So take a guess. Where will Howard play in 2021? If you would have asked me a week ago, I probably would have said Arizona. Right now, I'm leaning more towards the Dolphins because it makes a lot of sense for them just to give him a little bit more guaranteed money. Won't hurt as much as a lot of people think, but give the guy his money in terms of guaranteed. Keep him here for the long term, and him and Byron Jones can be a significant part of your defense moving forward. Shout out to today's sponsor of the video, BetUS. They have the best deposit bonus going on right now in the game, 125% deposit bonus. Now, what does that mean? If you give $100 to your account, or put $100 in your account, I should say, they'll give you $125. Nobody else in the game is doing that right now, but you got to go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code Dolphins125 to get it. Now, I have a couple of my favorite bets right now going on regarding Dolphins preseason. And again, you see that top one? Obviously not ideal, but it's preseason. And when you think about the preseason, a lot of backups are going to play in game one, and the Chicago Bears are favored by 3.5 right now. The total over-under for game one with the Dolphins and Bears in the preseason is 35.5, but that's not the bet that I'm looking forward to. You got to hit that over. Hey, they win the backup quarterback battle just because they have 3 of them up in Chicago, but should be pretty fun to watch nonetheless just to have football back. But the bet that I'm looking forward to is you got to bet on Tua to win the MVP. I mean, why not? You risk $10, you win $500, it's plus $5,000 right now. Why not? And again, you can place those bets over on chatsports.com/bet, and remember to use the promo code Dolphins125. Noah Igbinoghene, he has been a storyline to start training camp, as well as some people are starting to press the panic button on the former first-round pick out of Auburn in 2020. He struggled as a rookie, as a lot of people remember, but he is currently running with the second team in training camp. And why is that significant? Well, Xavien Howard's not playing right now, right? You think about it, you have Byron Jones on the opposite side, and you would expect a guy that you drafted in the first round in Noah to potentially step in and fill those Xavien Howard shoes. You look at those stats last year, Nothing really to write home about. 13 tackles, 0 interceptions, 2 pass breakups. The key for me is, when we're talking about Igbinoghene, is that he's only played for 2 years in terms of college football, and now last year was his 3rd year at the cornerback position, right? He is a very raw prospect right now. As we take a look at the depth chart, you see Noah right below Xavien Howard right there. And yes, I'm keeping Xavien Howard on the depth chart because, well, he's still a part of the franchise, right? That's a top 2 CB duo you have right there in Howard and Jones, and you thought that maybe Noah could step in and play that nickel spot where we have Coleman right now, because he did play an exceptional job at Auburn in college, but it just didn't translate to that last year in his rookie season. Again, 21 years old, has only played now 3 years at the DB position. I don't know if panic time is the right word, but hey, I want to hear from you. I'm curious, are you worried about Noah Igbinoghene? Type Y for yes, in for no down in the comment section. I'm going to say no personally, but this is kind of a make or break year for a lot of Dolphins players, and I put Noah in that category. Speaking of make or break, it's Tua time down in Miami, and he is in a make or break year for the Dolphins, but he's coming in fully healthy. And Bleacher Report recently mentioned in an article that Tua has improved in the offseason, and he absolutely have, getting rave reviews from teammates as well. Tua went in, self-assessed himself in terms of, what do I need to get better at this offseason? He went in, worked on his footwork, worked on his downfield passing, and Eric Rowe, safety for the Dolphins, took notice, as he went on to say, last year I even noticed his playbook was condensed to slants and bubbles. They really wouldn't let him show his arm. Now seeing training camp, a lot more deep routes. They're allowing him the opportunity to throw deep. That's what we need. Tua is making that jump. I see it each day. He is getting better from the first day. And that's all you can ask for when you talk about a guy that you had high draft capital in, right? We think about Tua Tagovailoa, and the thing to me is, and Bleacher Report, I think, said it perfectly here, and I'll read this quote real fast. It makes plenty of sense that the Dolphins will spend the summer expanding the playbook, and before suffering a hip injury at Alabama, Tagovailoa was in the mix for the 2020 number 1 overall pick that ended up being Joe Burrow, and in 2021 number 1 overall pick Trevor Lawrence, in terms of hype and upside in college, right? I think people are quick to forget just that. He was in that conversation as the number 1 overall player in the 2020 draft. Didn't fall too far, obviously, but the Tua hype was real, and he proved why at Alabama. Yes, he played with some of the greatest players in the country at Alabama, but he produced. Came in as a true freshman. You remember Devontae Smith wins the Heisman now, goes off to Philadelphia, but they had that historic catch to win a national championship. Tua threw that pass, and he had that hype. He lived up to it, and now he is fully healthy in a revamped Dolphins offense. I am all about Tua this year. And you know what? If you're about Tua, smash that like button right now. If you were excited about Tua this season, I am. I think this is going to be a breakout season for the second-year quarterback out of Alabama. It's going to be fun to watch. And hey, we'll keep you up to date here on Miami Dolphins Today on Chat Sports about the latest and greatest Miami Dolphins news. We'll catch y'all next time, guys.